Hello. Oh my goodness. It is a party popping off. Hello, party people. Wow. Wug, wug. Fix my. Am I party people? You are always party people. Thank you all for popping off. Hope everybody's having a pretty good little Valentine's Day. I got this is my Valentine's Day treat to myself I got today. Though I am a little bummed, but I'm coming around on it. I was a lot more bummed when I was thinking about it in terms of like comic book grading, because I talked about this a little bit. But I pulled a extremely rare card in a Magic the Gathering pack because I was so excited for Innistrad Remastered a couple weeks ago. And I pulled one of the most, this was the second collector booster I opened. For people who don't know. And Magic the Gathering players, if you are an avid fan of Magic the Gathering, you'll probably recognize this as the new art treatment for Edgar Markov, which is a very famous commander card that is seeing a rare reprint. I just got a lot of schmutz right here. I just put lip gloss on. And you may notice how shiny it is, and not only that, but how this is even more rare because it is a serialized card. So technically, there is only one card with this exact printing in the world because this is $3.99 out of 500. And so I pulled this because there are only 500 cards ever printed in a serialized set. That's it, right? And I was like, oh shit, okay, does that go in for like money? Or because I'm always curious about like, you know, every now and then I have cards that I'm like, I'll keep it around, or if I need it. Usually what I do is instead of like selling them for money, because it's usually worth more to get like in-store credit. So what I did for Aether Drift, because there were a couple cards I wanted from Aether Drift. I didn't go crazy for the set. I was also very sick when it came out, so... But what I did with Aether Drift was like I had like a bunch of credit saved up that I had been saving specifically for Aether Drift so I could get bundles and stuff. And so I keep cards like this sometimes. I have this Shuldred, the Apocalypse right behind me. This is a copy. This is a real one. This is a foil alternate art I bought. And so I pulled this and I immediately, if you go look up Edgar Markov Innistrad Remastered on eBay right now, you will find that card is not just like $100 card. Hello, dog. Hello. Hello. Okay, no, my arms are bare. You cannot be scratching me. You cannot be scratching me. I love you. Yes, I do. Goodness gracious. And what was I saying? So it goes for about that card that I just showed everybody that I got graded. The reason I got it graded is because ungraded, it is going for about $3,500. The serialized version, which is why I sent it away to get graded. Now, the thing I'm pissed about is somewhere along the way, it got ranked down from like a 9 to a 5 out of 10. Because apparently, so, and here's what I was talking about with the grading scale, is it's not like, because I heard 5 out of 10, and I'm like, okay, so it's like a piece of shit somehow. Like it got thrown into a like grinder, because what I'm thinking is I'm thinking comic book grading, right? And comic book grading, there's a lot less wiggle room, I think, in keeping, or there's a lot more wiggle room. So what ended up happening is somewhere along the way, and I'm not actually sure what side it is. When I say it is imperceptible, it is fucking perceptible. Like, I cannot tell. Whoa, some of Anonymous set people up as child predators for going to Pornhub. What? Treat money for pupper. Oh, she does not need it. That will be treat money for me. But she thanks you very much. She's actually going to get... she will use that because I'm about to buy... I get really good treats for Lady. They're, like, made with, like, blueberries and fruits and stuff. And she loves them. And I get them specially ordered when I order Mrs. Food, which is prescription from Chewy. And that's going to be... Yeah, if y'all want to donate to the Miss Cause right now, that would be appreciated. So yeah, my stream isn't going to be as long tonight. I have kind of a date tonight and then a date tomorrow, and then I'll be streaming again Sunday. But we do need to talk about some stuff. Is that Paddington Bear? It is Paddington Bear. Yeah, this is my... this is a vintage Paddington. Sorry, we're doing toy hour. I've been meaning to mix up the toys a little bit back there because I've gotten some new stuff. But yeah, this is a excuse me, a vintage Paddington Bear, and Kermit is vintage too. I had some dickhead try and make fun of my soda account. I might have to do it at a different place because I sent it into PSA. But yeah, so this Kermit and this Paddington are both vintage. And I also have Greetings Program. All right. Ooh, I just knocked my... Okay, there we go. I'll be right back. This was a gift to myself. For those who don't know, okay, so this is a Trendmasters style Space Godzilla. I did not know Super 7 made one of these. And I actually have a weird history with this. So I actually owned one of the original 90s Trendmasters Space Godzilla. Which was in these colors. So for those who don't know, Trendmasters, before there were a ton of like Godzilla movies, and especially in the Heisei era that had come out in America, Trendmasters had a bunch of toys for movies that essentially like they were characters and creatures like Biollante, Space Godzilla, and like the rest of that crew that kids didn't see the movies. So if you look up a picture of Space Godzilla, this is not what it looked like. However, on the original theatrical poster, it had a very similar rainbow color treatment, which is why the Trendmaster toy looked like that, because they were basing it on that. And as a result, this very colorful rainbow boy was kind of sought after as a Trendmaster's toy. And it was like kind of my grail for a little while when I was getting divorced and when I was really into Godzilla stuff. I saved up, and the problem was with the Trendmasters version is that, because this is the Super 7, but the Trendmasters version, the spikes would get really worn down over time because, you know, kids played with it for like 30 years. The top part of the crown would be busted off all the time. So what I found one that was in immaculate condition, and I got it for a pretty good price. I think I paid like $130, $140 for it, and I had saved up for it. I loved it. It was like kind of the crown jewel of my Godzilla collection. And then I got poor and I had to sell it. And I sold most of my Godzilla stuff. I sold most of my it's if you ever hear me talk about how I had to sell most of my PlayStation 2 horror games, like I had all the Fatal Frames, I had a lot of the Silent Hills, Resident Evils, like just a ton of classic PS2 horror games. It was all in that same period where I was just like poor. I had a moment when I was sick where I was like, I can't leave the house. I don't want to keep ordering in food. What do I have here? And so I ate like several meals that were just instant oatmeal, which there was a point at which instant oatmeal and peanut butter sandwiches were my primary sustenance. So when I saw that Super 7, they made Space Godzilla, and then they made this blue treatment based on the original Trendmasters version, I was like, okay, well, I cannot be affording to go out and buy the whole set. I can't afford, everything. I honestly think Super 7's a little bit overpriced. But for this one, considering it's cheaper and better articulated than it would be to buy a Trendmasters one, I like this one. I think it's a neat thing. It feels weird to have it on my shelf again, kind of, because it's actually roughly the same size. I think the Trendmasters one was a little bit taller, but it had less articulations. So it was kind of a wash. But yeah. Anyway, so this is my other Jordan Toy Corner catch lately. And I also have, but I know nobody cares. But I forgot to show off. This is the little Godzilla, who's been hanging out on my desk lately. Love this little guy. Yeah. Toys, y'all. I got him. What's up? Should I sell my PS4 and games? I mean, if you don't need them, here's the thing. I learned this with my... Oh my god, 400 people are watching me just yap about Space Godzilla. Turtle Chim, thank you for 18 months. Irish DC, a full year. Thank you for 12 months. Need to see the Tron toys, though. I don't think I have any out right now. Because a lot of my toys are actually packed up still. Right? Like, a lot of my toys are just packed the fuck away. From the move that didn't happen. Like, most of my stuff is still that way. It's like when people say, oh, put on, put on some tea. It's like, I can't because my tea kettle is buried at the bottom of the apartment storage unit right now. Because I was packed up and ready to move. And then I didn't move. Yeah, but do I have my light cycle? No, I think I put the light cycle away. That's fucked up. Why did I do that? Paddington, have you seen it? No, Paddington hasn't seen it. Hello, dog. If you could just lean on my leg, it would be so much cuter than you being. Hey! You have sharp claws. You're being such a booger. Yes, you are. Okay. But no, I have a original 1982 light cycle that I'll call him a friend of mine who owns a local toy store gave me a really good deal on it when I brought in some old toys. Spellbreaker, thank you for $20 Canadian. I live fortunately enough with my parents in Canada and get student jobs, so I figured I'd send something away. Also, 2 weeks on estrogen patches now. Congratulations, and a spirit to corpse. Thank you for gifting a sub to Freedom Evie. Do I have... Maybe I have... No, I don't think that's here either. I have some really cool Tron stuff, actually. I have... No, it's not. I think where they'd be. It would all be downstairs. But I have like the identity disc from Tron Legacy. I have a hello, sniff, 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 sniff. What are you doing? You're fine. Here, look at this. Oh. I have one of the coolest things I found. Was and Turtle Chum, thank you for gifting us a Buzz Skywalker. I think I might do a subathon soon because I really need the pickup. Because as I've been doing this Brianna Wu piece, it is becoming readily apparent that this is a much deeper rabbit hole than I thought it was. Like, when I started... Before I get too far off, I talk about Tron. One of the coolest pieces of Tron merch I have is it's like a read-along book, because they used to have those back in the day where it would come with a cassette that read like a story out, and then it was a book. So I have the book and the cassette for Tron from like the mid-'80s, early 80s. I think it might be around 82, actually. And the cool thing about that is it has a bunch of really great, like, kind of little Golden Book style illustrations of the movie. And so you have like Sark and the guards and like the recognizer and all this stuff, but done in this like very 80s airbrushed, like children's book style. It's so fucking cool. I love it. I wish I could, because I have it in a little plastic bag somewhere. Maybe, all right, give me a second. Maybe I might have it up here. I don't think I do. Yeah, sorry, y'all. I don't have it up here, unfortunately. I do have one, but okay. So that, and then like the vintage 82 light cycle are probably the coolest Tron stuff I have. I would love one of those, the translucent little figures, the 375. But they are so fucking expensive. They are stupid fucking expensive. Like, honestly stupid. Brianna, right. Brianna Wu. Oh my god. I went down an even deeper rabbit hole on her today. Like, there are so many things in her past, and I'm trying to walk a line of still being respectful to her post-transition, but that also doesn't mean, like her transitioning and being a trans woman does not suddenly mean, like, boop, anything you did before you transition doesn't matter. And I'm talking about shit like, apparently, allegedly, according to several sources. So, some people know that Brianna Wu had a ill-fated attempt at an animation studio, and that before she got into game design and development, she was into, like, being a cartoonist and artist and drawing and that kind of thing. What people don't know is that she really tried to get her, I believe it was Ole Miss, Mississippi, when she was going to college there, she really tried to get her, like, comic strip she was doing to run in the school paper. And that apparently ended with her being ousted and basically restricted from the school newspaper because she went on a tirade calling one of the editors a fat D-slur for lesbian woman, and one of the teachers who ran it, who I'm assuming is of Middle Eastern descent, a, quote, sand N-word. There are multiple different accounts and multiple different testimonies of this. This would have been in the early 2000s. And it's like, there are so many little tiny stories like that. And the lengths to which she goes to cast anybody who has questioned her. There's kind of an infamous thing around the time of Gamergate where David Pakman, who's like pretty lib, like pretty left-leaning, pretty sympathetic, David Pakman questioned her on something during an appearance on a show around the time that she was being harassed by Gamergate, and she immediately like shut down and started accusing him of it being a hit piece and being out to get her. She is like, yes, this is Brianna Wu. Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Winterm, Deepak is a fellow fellow traveler, fake liberal grifter. Excuse me. Like, yes, but also that interaction to me showed that A, she did not fully understand that, and B, she will literally react that way, or at least at the time, react that way to any perceived like questioning of her authority. It's really like, no, she didn't date Chris Reagan. Not to my knowledge, because she's been with the same guy for something like 2006, 2007. Yeah, no, TJ Multi, the thing is that a lot of people, and the reason why the work of doing this deep dive has expanded, and it's like, oh fuck, here we go, I gotta dig more into Brianna Wu, is because it gets more apparent when you look back through, because she has 20 years of internet trails, whether that's forums on Giant Bomb, IGN, Susan's Place, her old college forums. Like, she is able to be tracked through all of these different phases of her life, but you see in each of those phases, despite having different aspirations, different wants, different creative endeavors, you see the commonalities that are just like she hasn't changed in a crazy way. The one thing I will say that has changed that I find very interesting is that for years and years, it's another thing. So a lot of people, one of the reasons why I think she's so like kind of dangerous to a broader progressive movement is that a lot of people kind of just roll their eyes at her, and it allows her to still get the foot in the door for like appearing on podcasts and, shows where generally well-meaning people will have on, they'll be like, oh, she's a Politico, she's a trans activist, she's a this, that, or the other, without fully understanding that, like, no, she is first and foremost a self-centered, self-interested grifter. Like, that's what she has always been. Excuse me. Twinkerbell, thank you for 3 months. Love from New Zealand, thank you. Sarah Kahan, thank you for 3 months. Winterm, Wu completely inserted herself into Gamergate, which is about the freaks harassing the one with the Depression Quest game and also obsessing over Sarkeesian's lazy and shallow pop feminist lukewarm critique videos. Oh, you're gonna love this fucking video. It is so wild to look back at Gamergate, something I was like not involved in on either side. I was just getting into the game industry around that time, but I was not privy to a lot of the places that those groups congregated and what was actually happening. God, I had a bushy tail and stars in my eyes. 2014, I just wanted to tell the world how great Drakengard 3 was. It was such a simpler time. But The thing that is so fascinating looking back on it now is how Brianna Wu so clearly, like it's literally what you just said, literally inserted herself into Gamergate. Like I have spent so many, again, oh god, the research I'm putting into this piece, I love doing research. I love like being able to do this as a job, but there's a reality to it where you spend, like today I spent probably 3 hours just going down these old forum rabbit holes, and you'll spend 3 hours and get like maybe a paragraph of content because I'm trying to fucking like verify everything I say, instead of just like, oh, grabbing this and then jumping to an assumption, which is very, very hard to do because so much of the information on Brianna has been scraped by Gamergate dickheads. So, like, there are some people who will just jump to wild conclusions with no actual proof, and that sends, like, it's a fucking mess. But when you actually read, just judging by, and I've compiled dozens of articles now, when you look at, I've talked about this a little bit, I think, when you look at the articles that were written about and by and having interviews between the people that a lot of people now say Gamergate was about, which was Anita, Zoe Quinn, and Brianna Wu. The amount of articles that Brianna Wu either A, wrote herself for like major mainstream publications, they allowed her to write her own op-eds, or B, was interviewed for, is like here compared to Anita or Zoe, who, like, a lot of the stuff that they would be interviewed for, a lot of the, like, when Zoe made her memoir, like, that stuff came out years later. And since then, they have very much put it behind them. Whereas Brianna Wu has since, and this never materialized, but, like, in 2020, I think, she announced that she was pursuing plans. Her next creative endeavor was going to be a Gamergate TV show. And there's a great bit of here's the thing. Zoe and Anita, I don't think they would want to talk about it, but you can kind of read between the lines in a lot of things that they've said. And I think especially Zoe, Anita has been a lot more professional about it, but I think especially Zoe does not see Brianna as like somebody who actually went through the same level of harassment. And I'm not saying that like Brianna Wu didn't go through harassment, because she verifiably did. But there is also ample evidence that she A, made up a lot of the harassment herself, and B, continued to lie about like how it actually affected her, and C, used all of that to get attention on a game that, by all intents and purposes, by every account, nobody really cared about before she was one of the women getting harassed by Gamergate. It's been wild to watch, because I think we're finally far enough away from Gamergate that you can go back and critique a lot of the stuff that happened without being, and this is something I talk about in the video. This is something that Savvy Writes Books, friend of the channel, Savvy Writes Books, talked very in depth about. If you haven't watched their video on Gamergate, it's phenomenal deep dive into it. But at the time, it was such a deeply embroiled, entrenched battle where, like, I remember because I was at Game Informer around 2017, so that was like a couple years after the Gamergate stuff, and even talking about like the harassment that Kim, who worked there, was Kim and Elise, who were, you know, fantastic editors, fantastic writers, but like they just didn't want to talk about it. Like I would ask about it just out of curiosity. Hey, what was that like? Because I'm just a very naturally curious person. And it wasn't like they were like, you know, bundling up around me specifically. It was like I don't want to talk about it. Like it was some shit, and all the other editors would get very defensive about them. And I believe there was, at the time, there was some kind of litigation against some stalker who would come from that, I think. Whatever, I don't remember now, but like, it was some real shit that people were going through, and people don't fucking remember that. People wanted it, even at the time, be like, oh, it was about ethics in games journalism, and like, you would very easily be lumped in with those dickheads for questioning any of like Brianna's like narratives. Like, and but the thing is, she used that. She used that to essentially make the narrative whatever she wanted it to be, which is just horrendous. So, anyway. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's Valentine's Day, huh? Are you feeling healthy again, chat? Yeah, let's talk about the Doge thing first, because I don't think I'm going to be doing a stream highlight video on that. I might save the I might actually save the Robert F. Kennedy stuff for a stream on Sunday, because there is so much I want to go over, and I think talking about it is really important. And I might just make it a stream highlight video, because it's not just RFK and the fucking just wildly awful, just everything about that. It's also the stuff that's happening with the CDC, the NIH, people being laid off left and right, pandemic information being like basically withheld from public consumption and buried, the bird flu outbreak, the measles outbreak, which has expanded to like 50, 60 people down in Texas. John Crew, I see you saying ICE is threatening people online. I need like a link. That mean, I like, it also does not surprise me. Give me some links to follow. Archaeo Geek. Thank you, Taco Face Fart. I love me. I love you too. Yeah, the RFK Jr. stuff is a it's a deeper well than I've already gone down a little bit. There's a stream highlight video. There's a stream highlight video up on the channel right now. Oh, you think like I look like Brianna? Oh, thank you. I will watch a little video. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do the Doge thing. I'll do the hater video somebody made of me, which I watched like 3 seconds of. I got to a point where on the screen it said, oh God, what'd it say? It said, this is just like a critique video, dead domain, don't copyright, don't try and take down this video, just take the criticism and move on, which is like very funny to me. So that's prefacing the dead domain haters. Synthetic Man is a goofy. Hello, how have you been, dead domain? I've been all right. It was on Jesse Dollamore. I don't know who is it. It was. God damn. It is so crazy that somebody can have almost 1 million subs, and I'm like, I have no idea. Yeah, like it is funny to me that people, because I'm assuming, I think it's a Synthetic Man fan, because the video also has like less than 1,000 views after over a week. But like, so I feel like I'm bullying a little bit, but I'm also really curious what it is and want to get like a authentic reaction, because I was like, I'm so curious. Okay, Christianity is broken. I must be on. Oh, he collabs with Brian Tyler Cohen. Okay. Heck. Hey, Jordan. Hope you're having a chill day. I am. Yep. Crunky Monkey, I've avoided Gamergate for years. Journalists would always interview Brianna and take her analysis as the full story without even addressing any specific grievances, like you're proving their point. It is the crazy part about Brianna and Game, and this is the last I'll talk about, and I'll move on. Ugh. Sorry. That fucking cough is just sticking around. No, Siri, shut up. Where'd they get the kafaya? I got it on a website that I don't remember the name of. It was a specifically, like, I believe made in Palestine kafaya, or at least it said it was made in Palestine. So like, I'm hoping. What was I saying? Brianna Wu, right? Is that I don't think I've seen somebody with such a clear case of like main character syndrome in a long time. Like there was a pretty misogynist article, actually, that she wrote for something called The Magazine, which I guess was like a feminist outlet in 2013. So it was before the Gamergate stuff. And the way in which she describes herself is akin to a anime character. Like, she literally describes herself as like a badass leather-clad motorcycle riding maven, and it's like, look, I'm not saying you got to like shit on yourself all the time, but there is a baseline of humility that Brianna Wu has never really had, and I think it has carried her far, and I think it is why she gets along with conservatives so well. All right. So let's talk about Doge real quick. These experts left their database open. The Doge.gov website, and I believe this is quote-unquote fixed now, that was spun up to track Elon Musk's cuts to the federal government is insecure and pulls from a database that can be edited by anyone, according to two separate people who found the vulnerability and shared it with 404 Media. One coder added at least two database entries that are visible on the live site and say this is a joke of a government site, and these experts left their database open. Yeah, they took that down. Meet the U.S. government. Now, I will show people, if people haven't been on the Doge government website, it is wildly inept. It's basically just a Twitter feed. I don't want to, though. What the hell? All right, I'm going to go over to HuffPost. Launched its website Wednesday night. Oh, goddamn, they just launched a website? Ugh. Allowing users to trace your tax dollars through the bureaucracy. People can navigate through all federal agencies and offices. See, the problem with how he uses bureaucracy is that... God, I am so sorry. The problem with how Elon uses the term bureaucracy is that it not only applies to him, because he will basically say like, oh, anybody who's unelected. He just literally applies it to any government employee, which again, he is not. They made up Doge. Like, a bureaucrat, by their definition, is somebody who was at least hired somewhere along the way by somebody who was elected. Easy search shows that Doge database provides details on the NRO, the federal agency that... Oh, here's the other part. They published classified shit on there. Federal agency that designs, builds, and maintains U.S. intelligence satellites. Not only are NRO's budgets and headcounts classified, but the prospect of Musk's tech team meddling in sensitive personnel information is setting off alarms for some of the intelligence community. Quote, Doge just posted secret no foreign info on their website about intelligence community headcount, so currently people are scrambling to check if their info has been accessed, said one Defense Intelligence Agency employee who requested anonymity to avoid retaliation from senior leaders. No foreign stands for not releasable to foreign nationals, meaning information in this category can't be shared to any foreign governments, international organizations, or foreign nationals without specific authorization. It appears to be the only intelligence website with its data publicly available on Doge's website. The U.S. intelligence community is composed of 18 organizations. HuffPost searched Doge's website for details on all of them. None of the others had any data. Oh, yeah, no, I heard about the Stonewall stuff. I think that might have to wait for another stream, too. God, I am so congested. What the hell? Musk can't claim he wasn't aware of the NRO is one of the nation's intelligence agencies. His company, SpaceX, has a $1.8 billion contract to build hundreds of spy satellites. I haven't read this yet. That's fucking... What are we doing, man? Like, just a little oopsie-poopsie. Getting rid of classified documents. This is not an average congestion level, Banana Brains. This is a worse congestion level. Yeah, that stupid cough is hanging around. And that is fucking terrible. Two Senate aides who work on intelligence matters confirmed that NRO's headcount and budget are classified, though they noted there have been debates within the community as to whether they should be. The reason to keep this information private at all is because foreign adversaries could use it to extrapolate how much the U.S. is prioritizing certain intelligence activities. Well, who gives a fuck? Another thing I wanted to talk about was Trump essentially... fuck. All right, you know what? Let's talk about it since we're already in the what the fuck are we doing here phase of the stream. Postmortem, thank you for super sharing $1.99. Yenzo. I'll talk about that in a second. From Gordon Chang, who is a writer, I guess. Trump just said he will sell F-35s to India. He might as well just send one directly to Moscow. Here's part of the memo. The leaders welcomed a significant integration of U.S. origin defense items into India's inventory, including blah, 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 howitzers, blah, blah, blah. Leaders determined the U.S. would expand defense sales and co-production with India to strengthen interoperability and defense industrial cooperation. They announced plans to pursue this year new procurements and co-production arrangements for Javelin tank missiles, great, and Stryker combat vehicles in India to rapidly meet India's defense requirements. They also expect completion of procurement for 6 additional maritime patrol aircraft. I am sure nothing bad will come from that. Yeah, no. So the thing that I wanted to talk about this is that the reason why this is interesting or important is that if we give a piece of military technology like the F-35 to India, every country in Asia is going to have it. Like that's just the reality. They will have the schematics. They will have all of the weapon, everything about it that makes it a viable weapons program. China will have access to it. Russia will have access to it. Yeah, no, everything is for sale. Like that's essentially what this fucking comes down to. Whoa. Oh no. God, I keep kicking my fucking stand today. So it's like it like any kind of security leak that comes out from this administration, I'm just not surprised by it anymore. Any kind of somebody going, oh, well, goodness gracious, they have international secrets, or this thing leaked and foreign governments aren't supposed to have it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. It's all fucking for sale. India and China are on the brink of war, not really sharing intel, I bet. I mean, like, it honestly has less to do with that and more to do with the fact that they share a continent. If they get and especially if they're on the brink of war, if they get this kind of cutting edge, military technology, like we are letting China look at it either way if it is on that continent. Where can we heap on? Thank you, Postmortem, for $4.99. Just give it the word, Jordan. Doesn't the Pentagon restrict jet sales and transfers though? Aha! Here's the thing. Nobody cares anymore. Like what is the Pentagon gonna do? Who's like the judge orders that are holding everything together right now? Like it came down that like judge said, oh, actually you can't ban trans healthcare. Okay. How long will that last? How long until those judges are fired? Like, we already have unelected bureaucrats, people like Elon Musk, who are out here saying, like, these federal judges are not the ones who should be deciding the will of the people. In fact, it is the will of the people that elected President Trump, and so he should have a final say over everything, basically. Fucking ugh. I've already called him a South African vampire fucked. Thank you, gay satanic clowns. Drax's storm scale. The goddamned F-35 has been $1 trillion money sink for like 2 decades or more, and they're just going to give it away to another country. Yeah. Why not? Yeah, no, so it turns out, as soon as I saw this, I was like, fucking of course. It turns out that the Doge department website, and I need to fucking look. I get that there's supposed to be like a cost-cutting measure, but there are lines that, like, it apparently runs on WordPress, which is fucking crazy to me. And first off, a lot of sites run on WordPress. I've worked with multiple websites that run on WordPress. So that's the fact that a new website runs on WordPress is not as crazy to me as the fact that it is an unelected organization that is essentially just a wrecking ball running through the halls of power right now that is running on WordPress. And I'm just like, fucking, what are we doing? What are we fucking doing here? Like, this is not your stepmom's cooking blog, dog. This is not some fucking college kid's like gaming site that he's gonna fucking forget about in 6 months. You know, like this is I mean, they have their own domain. They have Doge.gov. The people voted for major reform. I'm So the way you can check their work is essentially a series of X posts. Sorry, excuse me. God, I want to smack myself. Essentially a series of Twitter posts. Now, the interesting part, savings, great. Receipts coming soon, no later than Valentine's Day. God, it's time. TikToking, boy. Vontux, thank you for $5. Chad GPT has Doge say. That's probably why it's WordPress. Lots of examples in the data set of Chat GPT. Honestly, you're probably not wrong. It is like just the dog shit way it's laid out, everything about it. The fact that it's even its logo looks kind of AI generated. It screams the same Silicon Valley dog shit mentality we've been seeing from Elon Musk, from Mark Zuckerberg, from all of these just Silicon Valley dickheads of just like move fast and break things. Like all of this, it's the cart before the horse, which is why Silicon Valley, by the way, has been in just like a constant state of bubbles, is because you have all of these things. Anytime a slightly new piece of technology or new piece of processing or programming or anything comes out, it's what happened with what was the fucking the blood the only thing I can think of is theremin and thermos, and it's not that. What's the thing I'm thinking of? Theranos. Thank you. Fuck. It was the thing that like caused the Theranos thing to blow up, is that like people were just like they just saw something to fucking invest in. And it doesn't matter how useful it actually is. It doesn't matter the science behind it. It doesn't matter if it is practically going to like affect positive change or even complete the mission that you are saying it is. What's important is that, we got to invest. We got to get in on the ground floor. We have to fucking set this thing up. You have to essentially Thanatos. You have to set up, it's like, okay, do you ever see, it's like those little fake Old West towns, right? Where every storefront is actually just a like massive, like it's just literally the front of a store. It's just literally the front of a building, and it's propped up by giant like wood pylons behind it. And you walk through a doorway or something, or it falls down, like the comedy bit. It's the Chaplin bit where like the front of the barn falls down and he's straight through the door, like that kind of shit. Pretty sure, was it Buster Keaton or Chaplin? That, you know what? That might have been I think that was Buster Keaton. Yeah, the movie studio, like that kind of stuff. That is essentially what Silicon Valley does. That is essentially how they have operated for the last 20 years, where they have to create the illusion of there being something. That's Buster, yeah. And make it as convincing as possible, but just convincing enough that you do not actually look behind the curtain. And that like everything Doge has done, top to bottom, just reeks of that kind of inexperience, that kind of absolute recklessness. At the now expense of shit that is actually useful. Yeah, it's so. Yeah, Drax's storm scale. To be clear, it's not that I particularly prize the United States military primacy. Well, so here's the thing, and I got some people pushing back on me in the stream. I think it was last stream where I talked about, or two stream, whatever. The like kind of dissolution of soft power through USAID, where we are abdicating like footholds all around the world, whether that's in medicine, whether that's in war-torn regions, whatever. And it is like you can sit on a and like I certain at a core
as a core argument, I do agree with it. Like, yeah, we should not be as involved as we are in other people's shit, just generally speaking. The problem is, we are. Like, the balance of global... It reminds me of that stupid fucking... The balance of power in the DC universe is about to change. But, like, the balance of global power hinges on the American soft power colonialist mindset that has been extending its reach for decades now. And to just relinquish that is going to create a vacuum that will be filled. Like, here's the problem, is that the things that we are giving up will be filled by other countries. Countries that are currently ascendant, like motherfucking China, who just wiped the floor publicly, globally, with America's AI attempts. Would I say China taking power is good or bad in my opinion? I mean, like, I would be like, oh, they're not going to invade us. I don't think they'll invade us. Like, I think China is... Like, you can look at anything any country does and be like, okay, this is good, this is bad. And I think you can easily look at, especially in the last 20 years of American hegemony, look at the war spread across Iraq and Afghanistan in the wake of September 11th. The 1 million plus people, civilians affected, dead, killed, displaced. Look at the effect that we are currently having in Palestine. Like, you can look at any country, and I think it is a jingoistic viewpoint to look only at the flaws of other countries. That being said, like, China is, like, there's still an ongoing fucking genocide. The stuff they have done in Taiwan is, like, morally unconscionable. And it's one of these things that, like, on one hand, I think it's just part of politics, right? There aren't good options for major powers. Here's the thing. I would say there aren't good options there never have been good options for major powers. Like, at what point in world history, like, what is a good empire? You know? What does that mean? Both can be bad at the same time. Yeah, they can. But at the same time, people in China don't have to worry about a lot of shit that Americans do. Like, they're living in fucking future cities over there with like healthcare and shit and good education. And I believe provided housing. And so it's like, what are we going to fucking do? CCP is an Orwellian cult. I mean, like, how is that different from the Republican Party? Like, right now, look at how, and I'm not disagreeing with you at all by any stretch, but look at how the modern conservative movement has fallen in line behind Trump, and tell me that, like, we are not going through a similar political cult right now. People in the U.S. don't have to worry about a lot of shit people in China have to worry about, like government space rockets falling on their village with toxic gases coming out. We have that shit in America. What are you talking about? We just had SpaceX blow up a fucking rocket over America. Exactly. Yeah, like I'm not saying the CCP is good But I'm saying that like there's no like, what is a good empire? Ameliorate Gray. It's odd when Mitch McConnell is the only party holdout against Republicans. Somebody brought up a really great point that he is currently just in the phase of legacy preservation. Like he fuck Mitch McConnell always and forever. He knows that his protest votes aren't actually going to make that much of a difference. Like he had the chance. He's had multiple chances to actually tangibly do something about Trump and just fucking hasn't. Lithium explosion in Ohio. Oh fuck. That's the one that is like poisoning groundwater, right? Horrible turtle mention. I know turtly enough for the turtle club. Would the Persian Empire be considered good? I mean, like, the Persian Empire lasted a long fucking time, right? Sorry, I'm not up on my ancient Mesopotamia right now. Yeah, like, it's about less than 200 years. 250-ish years. Oh, I actually listened to an episode of Hardcore History about this. Okay. Obviously, I didn't fucking retain much of it. Achaemenid Empire. I mean, the problem with ancient empires is that, and this happened with Rome multiple times. They were so dependent on the whims of their rulers. It's honestly a fucking miracle any empire lasted more than 100 years. Ancient and the Islamic. Yeah. So that's what's going on with Doge. Sane perp. Being woke is being secretly racist. There's only two genders, male and female. If you want me to refer to you as a girl, you need to look like a girl. But you have been just really hankering for some attention, sane perp. No Valentine's Day? Shocker. HR 22 House Resolution. Why did somebody send me to amend? Okay, all right. Yep. The National Voter Registration Act of 93 to require proof to register as an individual to vote. Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act. Jesus Christ, Pyrrhic Pax. The official government website refers to Doge as a community meme project. The meme shit is so, like, it's deeply distressing on such an existential level that I have a hard time really putting into words quite why. Because, like, it represents such a, and this has been Elon's new thing. Like I am 90% sure he's like 5 months away from just saying the F slur. If you want to argue with anyone, argue with God. I have a limited amount of breath. I'm not going to waste it talking to people that don't exist, buddy. What's this 4chaner on about? I have no idea. References to transgender and queer people removed from Stonewall National Monument's webpage. Stonewall Inn and Stonewall Inn Gives Back initiative called it a, quote, direct attack on transgender people. The thing I'm curious about is we've talked about it before, but the just like the broad defining of like queer and trans stuff out of the public eye. But it occurs to me, it's such a weird way to do it, to acquiesce to like gender critical terms. Because it is very clearly, we've already seen like some states proposing the idea of like rolling back gay marriage and doing all of this just broadly anti-queer stuff. There's a bill in, was it Utah or Ohio? There was a bill that is like, oh, we're not going to have pride flags in classrooms or anything. Let me pull that up real quick. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'll do the RFK stuff next stream because as I'm going through my sources and stuff, I have a bunch of stuff on there. Jay super chatted, it's uncanny and creepy, gives me the ick. Yeah, it is the most like, hello fellow kids, how are you fellow kids? Nazi flags can fly in Utah schools, but not pride flags, GOP lawmaker says. Ongoing fight in Utah to ban pride flags in schools entered new territory after Representative Trevor Lee proposed new legislation to ban the flags not just in public schools, but any government building. Originally applied only to school. Updates expands the ban to all government buildings or property. Approved flags for display include blah, 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 blah. Bill also allows for flying of a historic version of a flag that is temporarily displayed for educational purposes, which Lee said would include the Confederate and Nazi flags. Dude, the dude saying, hey, we're gonna, it's okay to fly the Confederate flag. His last name is Lee. Are you fucking kidding me? We live in such a just cartoon world. It's so dumb. Anyway. The reason I wanted to bring that up is because A, that fucking headline, mwah, so good. B, the rollbacks are going to continue, but the way in which they're doing it to try and line up with this idea of like LGB without the T is so strange to me. Like, it's just odd. It's just weird to me. Like seeing this stuff that I've literally only ever seen from like Quisling Twitter posting like TERFs. Like 40-year-old British women who are abnormally into Harry Potter. Page used to say LGBTQ+. According to an archived version of the National Park Service's website, it now only says LGB. There's no pride without trans folks leading that fight. There was one actually darkly funny. I don't want to say funny, but darkly humorous. Harry Potter's good, though. Is it? Is it, or do you need to read more books? Or watch more movies? The Trump administration deleted Sylvia Rivera's advocacy for trans rights from the Stonewall National Monument website. The website now reads, quote, at a young age, Sylvia began writing for Gay and Rights. Like, they are doing such a sloppy job of erasing trans history that they can't even apply solid English to it. It is... Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Is that my cat? No, that's my dog. She is staring at me intently because she wants something. Hello. 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 Okay. If I give you if I give you toy, will you be good? No, do not smooch me. Gross. Gross dog. Alright, here you go. Knock yourself out. Alright. I gave her a little toy that should keep her occupado for a little bit. No, it is literally just control delete trans, which is just such a utterly unrelated, but you have the most beautiful eyes that serve as windows to your lovely sparkling soul. Thank you. Gender formerly known as trans. Wug. Hey, Coda Anthony. All right. So with all that out of the way, out of the day, I need to go get water really quick. And lady sounded annoyed. She's fine. She just wanted a toy I took away. All that out of the way. I'm going to go get water really quick. And then we will get started on a video somebody made about me, about moi. Calling me, what'd she call me? She called me biased. She called me biased. And why I think that's very funny to call me biased. Alrighty. What was her name? What was the channel name? I don't actually remember. Oh, hey, there's me. That's just going to be all my shit. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to have to look by most recent. Hi, Banana Brains. I was watching one of your videos from earlier last year. You look so different. How? I always try and like, people say that a lot, and I don't get it. I want to know how. This, by the way, completely unaltered picture of JD Vance I used for that thumbnail. Like, he just looks like that. Oh, and Ryan also put up a video of us watching the fucking skibbity toilet shit back in November. Unless you're talking about when I went to Republicon, because I did put on weight specifically for that. So I've lost that weight since then. And then, yeah, I haven't been doing... Oh, here we go. Exposing the hypocrisy of Dead Domain. Liar and biased. Love it. And this is the best, I guess, worst picture they could find of me. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's talk about Dead Domain. That's my favorite subject. Danny, thank you for $4.99. Look up the Black Knight Uprising for some queer trans history. It's the Stonewall of the Midwest. Unbiased is saying that basically paid infiltrators were the cause of violence at BLM and January 6th, so it was equal opportunity. That said, the election was stolen. That's fucking rough. That's fucking rough. I guess this is the picture they chose to make me look bad. I was going to apologize for not having done my makeup a lot lately. And part of that is because I've been so fucking sick. I have cunty disease and it's terminal. But it's just been like, I also haven't gone anywhere lately. I've been very much a homebody, and I've been very much going, well, when I go out, it is to go to places to work. So like I have my sushi restaurant that I go to because you can get like a solid like fill up roll of sushi for like $10. And I usually bring my tablet. Thank you very much to the person in the audience who gifted me their tablet because mine was fuck busted. I have a tablet and a keyboard that I bring with me, and I type a lot of stuff. I type most of like tens of thousands of words last year by doing that. Just because it kind of helps me clear my head, get out of my zone. And it allows me to, if you're ever wondering like, or if you're ever trying to get writing work done, this really helps me, is going somewhere else, like a coffee shop. I have a coffee shop kind of right across the street from me. I have a couple coffee shops because I live downtown near me. The sushi place is great. But if you're ever like, gosh, you know, what time do I set aside to write or like anything like that, getting out for a couple hours, because it's still like I can chunk out a good 3, maybe 4 hour block and then be like, okay, you know what? I've done a lot of good work. I can go back. My cat needs to be fed. Dog needs to be fed, whatever. Excuse me. Yeah, they chose already. Not doing a great job hating on me. But anyway, what was I talking about? I forgot. Isn't Anna Waifu someone who's an obsessed Synthetic Man fan? I think so. I don't I think you're right. She was the... Yeah. Oh, I fucking jettisoned that knowledge. I completely forgot about that shit. I found her when I was going through the stupid Kiwi Forums thread. Yeah, she like is super parasocial with synth. Oh, okay. Let me... I mean, 652. I honestly... Female gamer that speaks the truth. AI thumbnail. I feel like I'm bullying here a little bit. If I remember right, I think she deleted her channel, so all of this stuff is new. Let's talk about anti-pants gaming. Feminism is ruining gaming. Generic and based. Wow. Wow. That's crazy, bro. 600. See, I almost feel bad. Like, I am punching down so far. Yeah. Synth might choose dead domain over her. That was a fucking visceral reaction. Ugh. Why'd you do that? Homelander, I did it. I ate 2 pounds of disgusting flavorless salmon fish, 2,000 calories from the fish alone, 3,000 calories today total. Are you trying to bulk up? That's the only reason I can think of it. Okay. Yeah, they did name drop me. They did. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into this. Is that Bionicles? Is that Bionicles? They play with Bionicles in here?
Your art and your movies and ruining the things you love. You have no idea. We will take everything from you.
This was somebody. God, I looked so good on that night. This is somebody else's footage that she's just ripping.
It was never yours to begin with.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about dead domain. This guy has been on my...
Whoa. That fucking audio quality hit me like a truck already. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get it.
radar for a while, especially after the synthetic man video he made. And before I go into this,
the funny part is that this was I think the look I did for the synthetic man video. I basically went as mask as I still can. Like I almost had the same like look now. I'm in a tank top. I have my hair just pushed back, not wearing any makeup or anything. And like, all right, let me see if that fixed it.
I know I shouldn't name drop, and it seems like I'm just preaching to the choir with this, and my channel might get deleted from this, but as Lord Farquaad said, that is a sacrifice.
So that was the other thing that caught me is your channel's not going to get deleted, honey. I don't care that much. I don't care that much. Transphobic and low quality, close enough. Welcome back, Leafy is here. Yeah, I'm not surprised at the I look like Starbuck. Don't say it. You can't say you can't say I look like Katie Sackhoff. That's Katie Sackhoff is my girl. All right.
I'm willing to make.
It's hideous.
So sit and back.
You cannot like when I'm serving like this, you're gonna say I'm hideous.
It's hideous.
So sit and back.
Anna waifu, you have an AI photo. Show face, girl. Show face. The funny part is, and I'm assuming that this is gonna be the same thing, but like all of the weird synth orbiters who came into my comments and still do on occasion, don't really understand. Like, they understand the concept of somebody being non-binary in as far as like they'll call somebody Z or pronouns, which I don't use and I've never used, but they don't understand how that applies to like gender representation, and so they still just like call me Troon and it's all the regular Fortune and Kiwi Farms insults about like having an axe wound and stuff, and it's like, no, I'm alright, like I'm good.
Back and relax while I rant about a YouTube channel that really got under my skin.
Here was the part. This was the part that I was like, okay, I need to watch this. Made for critique use. Dead domain, do not take this video down. Take the critique and move on. It is the funniest part to me about this kind of like critique and criticism and all this stuff is the way in which I've literally built a channel on me going into conservative spaces, talking to conservatives right to their faces, conservatives, far right, ultra far right, like whoever, being very blatantly unafraid to do so, engaging with their ideas at a deep level, debunking and disproving them with actual research, checking on the research that they do. This is kind of the thing I do. This is kind of my brand. Like, and it still doesn't escape me that despite all of that work, demonstrably on my channel, I just get accused of like living in an echo chamber because I feel like it's this reflexive reaction where they think somebody's going to critique me and I'll TMCA them over a video with 700 views. Excuse me. Yeah, if I could remove videos, this wouldn't even be on the fucking list. Like, I don't care aside from the entertainment value that somebody made a video about me.
Originally, I was going to make a response video to Dead Domain's video, but that video is way too long, and I don't think my body could handle that much cringe in one sitting without me having...
So you didn't watch the video? You're going to make a response video to a video you didn't watch? Cool. Love that.
A heroin relapse, so that's not happening. So, Dead Domain, a guy who makes essay videos and knows nothing about women's issues despite pretending to be a woman. He's very...
Hey, they said it! See? I just don't understand how being trans works. You love to see it. All right, sorry, somebody's texting me.
Very left-leaning, very biased, and dresses like this. Men just keep getting more mad.
Oh, where'd you find that one? Hang on. Dresses like... Come on, show it again. Show it again. I was so... Why not keep that up? Why not keep that up? Come on.
Very biased, and dresses like this.
This was part of an OnlyFans set I did, which you can see photos like this and more. I don't dress like this every day. In fact, I have... whatever, it doesn't matter. But, like, dresses like this, wearing a dress... Like, if you... You're going to sit here and tell me that because I wear a dress, I think I'm a woman. Then you think wearing a dress makes you a woman, I guess? Which I don't. I've never identified that way at all. Like, that's... Sorry. Whoa. Ooh. Lena, thank you for subscribing. Winky Mink, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Also, you can tell this is old because I have new thigh tattoo now.
Don't they? Anna, stop calling him a man. That is a woman, and you're required to call him by his preferred...
I'm not. She's arguing with herself about something that isn't even true. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Pronouns, get out of here, liberal. The fact that he made a 2-hour video hit piece on a guy that finds chicks with dicks hot makes me wonder what his true motives are. By the way, did you know this guy has a statue of a demon in his room and a demonic lamb as his banner? Which, let me remind you, the lamb is a Christian symbol.
First off, lamb chop is a Baphomet, not a lamb. Second off, I don't think I have that back there anymore. No, the Baphomet's somewhere else now. I don't know where it is. But if you, by the way, this is not the first time this has been like cited against me. But if you are going to say, oh, this person, they have a Baphomet, they have a literal demon statue, then you must also bring up the fact that I have Shadow the Hedgehog. And who else do I worship, apparently? You've got King Ghidorah, you've got Tails Miles per Hour in his little Sonic Adventure 2 mech. I got a Duke Nukem right there. Here's Kermit the Frog. You can't really see it because I got Edgar Markov in the way. This is my graded serialized Edgar Markov for people who missed it. You got Morgan Ainsland. I mean, like, who wouldn't worship Morgan? The Cacodemon right there. I got a little figure of Eddie from Iron Maiden standing next to Ronnie James Dio right there. Like, I don't know if you can make that out. So I worship them too. I mean, like, because they're, the gods of metal. We got Master Chief down here. I got a Pig Cop right there from Duke Nukem. I have a little Jack-O-Lantern right there. Mima Kirigoy from Perfect Blue. Like, if you're gonna say that, they have a literal demon here that they actually worship, then certainly you must also think I worship a Shadow the Hedgehog plushie by that property. Thou shalt not worship Kermit, the most fearsome false idol of our time. Hi-ho. I, too, would worship Kermit the Frog. Yeah. Alex Jones, hello.
Well, of course, this leftist worships Kermit the Frog and Master Chief.
See, no Gamera, no love for Gamera. I have a Gamera. I have several Gameras. Do I have any of my Gameras out? I don't think I do. I think I packed all those up because I have a big box of kaiju stuff. So do I worship Shadow the Hedgehog? Of course.
He's the ultimate life form.
What the fuck does Eggman say? Chaos. I know I could probably No, I have my Double Trouble and my Fat Nuggets down there too. You can't really see Fat Nuggets is sitting behind Ronnie James Dio, but I do have a Double Trouble plushie and my Fat Nuggets plushie. So the point is, I just got a lot of shit on my shelves, dude. And I like the demon stuff. I had somebody, and actually I want to thank them for the very kind email. I won't put their name out there or anything, but I had somebody email me who they were a Christian. They enjoyed my videos, the videos I've done on Steven Anderson, but they were curious, or they sounded more kind of like worried about, and they seemed like they might have been a little bit younger, and so I kind of was just I answered as honestly as possible. They asked, like, I see that you're not anti-Christian in your content, but why do you have this demonic imagery? You say you're not a Satanist, but you have this goat with the pentagram. And I explained very cautiously, explained very clearly that, like, again, if you couldn't tell by Eddie and Ronnie James and the fact that I had, it's a Godzilla poster now, but at one point I had a Wasp poster behind me. An authentic vintage Wasp poster, which it's still funny. People still call that out in my older videos when I had the Blackie Lawless poster behind me. People are like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool." If you couldn't tell, I like metal. If you couldn't tell by the fact that I have Perfect Blue, and I've had Pinhead back there before. I've had like a bunch of horror stuff. I like horror. I also like serving cunt. If you couldn't tell by great looks like presented on screen. So a glittery, sparkly demon as a mascot, it's a combination of all my interests. It's really like me having a demon, having any demonic imagery, especially like my demonic vaporwave look that I try and go for. It's like, it ain't that deep. I just like it. I just like the way it looks. Like it ain't that deep, bro. Like that's all I gotta say. It ain't that deep. Wasp as metal. Wasp is metal. Do I need to pull out the headless children again? I'm not doing this. Have Slaanesh as your mascot? I might as well. Like these people act like I am chaos. The SpongeBob rainbow meme. Branding. Yeah, branding is a weird way to put it, but I guess you could say branding. Like it is I wanted to have, and I set out to do this. I talked about it when I set out with the channel. I set out to have like this kind of like underlying narrative that just nobody cared and nobody noticed, so I gave up on it. But like I wanted something that wasn't just, which is why I've always tried to make like my intros, my outros, like I've always tried to the backgrounds that I use for like video segments, I've always tried to at least change them somewhat or edit them or try and make them my own, make them fit within my aesthetic instead of just being like every other fucking YouTube channel that, until I'm able to actually pay for something, just uses a GIF or a canned intro, and that just like that shit bugs me. I want to have that personal stamp on it more than anything.
So he's blatantly shitting on Christians here, you know. You call me a schizo for that, but, you know, why else would you have Baphomet in your room? And I'm already, like, I already hate doing this video, like, 2 seconds in, and I'm already, like, getting angry, like, doing the script. He also complains about synthetic...
Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way you had a script for this. Also, what's with the Bionicle? What are we doing here?
And another creator cyberbullying, yet he makes fun of people. Like, you made a 2-hour hit piece on a...
Again, if you would actually watch the video, you'll see why it's not a hit piece. Me accurately describing things that Syntha said, and then, most importantly, providing video evidence of them, and then linking to them so people could find the context themselves. Like, I am not just taking, like, 2-second clips there. There are long stretches of content I provide in that video. The fact that it's 2 hours is a testament to how much I had to fucking dig through and show. The reason it's not longer is because I had to fucking choose what clips I edited. It was something I learned in the Matt Walsh video, is that, like, sometimes you gotta fucking, like, cut that shit down, and if people want to find the source, I'll give you the link. That's bionic. What are you talking about? That is Bionicle. Look at those joints.
YouTuber that was like full of circumstantial evidence and biased claims and blatantly false claims as well, like saying men don't get arrested for walking behind a woman at night or how you approach women, which isn't true at all. Like, you could just do a simple Google search. There's a reason why the meme exists, you know. He pretends he includes everyone, yet if you say anything that he disagrees with, he will call you a Nazi and will...
This isn't me. Conley said, I did not say it was a hit piece. Feel bad for him. Publicly hope the video would ruin his channel. Again, it's this idea that they can't really hold two ideas in their head at the same time. I can want him to not be on YouTube spreading his dumb bullshit incel Nazi propaganda, and also sincerely hope as a person he learns to grow and change. And in fact, those two things probably have to come together. Not a takedown on Synthetic Man. Told his followers to mass report. I did not. In fact, I specifically said I did not. 2 days before posting the hits piece, he went to SM Stream to insult him and start shit. Jordan is a slimy weasel. Sorry, y'all can't take the heat. Simric, thank you for $5. If I ever hit the lottery, I'm starting a news service for you to work at. You do good journalism. I don't know if I would ever work at another news outlet. I've worked in news before, and
want you to delete it off the platform. Listen, it doesn't matter.
Also, this is the Matt Nui. Deeply funny that she's using somebody else's comments about something I've said rather than showing. And here's the difference between the stuff I did and the stuff that she's complaining about, is that I would actually show me saying that stuff instead of showing somebody else alleging I said some stuff and not having any proof to back it up. Like that's you're not showing the work. No, I was actually not a reporter. I've talked about this a little bit. I was in a very short-lived, ill-fated attempt at a local news station trying to do a like video game startup. It's actually where I learned most of my editing. But I did work in the actual. Sorry, I know I keep starting and stopping. I did actually work in the like studio, so I did get to work around like the news anchors and stuff.
Okay, just because certain people believe in something that might be out there or stupid doesn't mean they need to be deleted off the platform. Dead domain is a...
Now who's being disingenuous? What does Synth believe that might be stupid? Do you want to go into the Nazi shit? Do you want to go into the anti-Semitism? Do you want to go into the advocating for people to be shot and killed, beheaded on live TV? His words, not mine. That Uncle Ted had the right idea and we need to start bombing game developers. All things he said, by the way, all things I show in the video. That's why I don't like it. And so, but like, again, I love how the ever-present, like, oh no, we're just ooh small beans. Like, why would you be so mean to us? We're just saying things that, you know, we might not mean. And when we're in our own circles, we say how much we actually mean it and how much we actually want people to die and how much we actually think people should go out and be killed. But then if you call us out on it, it's, I'm a small ooh bean little birthday boy, and why would you? I just believe something different than you. Why would you call me out on that? That's rude. It's like, who the fuck is Uncle Ted? Uncle Ted is the name that Nazis and accelerationists like to give to Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. Postmortem, thank you for $9.99. Have you ever watched Everyman Hybrid? Seems up your alley. It's one of the obsessed with it. It's one of the big three when it comes to YouTube Slenderman series. For those who know Rabbit or Habit, Everyman Hybrid. I will write that down right now.
Snake, and I don't like him. If you are not hurting people, you don't need to be deleted. Is Synthetic Man's take on Fuda and Sandy Hook questionable? Yes, it is. Do I agree with everything he says? No. Do I think he can be hypocritical sometimes? Yes. But he doesn't deserve to be deleted off YouTube like the leftists want. Someone who needs to be deleted is Sky Does Minecraft because the guy...
Again, I don't... This is beef that is beyond me. But, again... really downplaying the worst shit. Like, the stuff I called him out for being a hypocrite on is like, whatever. That I use that as a framing device to talk about people like Synth. The big thing that people really missed with that video, especially since like fans or whatever, is that the video isn't really about him. It is about a very specific kind of person that he just really represents well. Like, mostly the people in his audience. And that's borne out by the fact that if you go into the comments on that video, the amount of people, here's how I know I did my job well. The amount of people who watched that video and said, holy shit, I was like this, or I used to be like this, or I almost turned out like this, or I was, and I turned away, or I found a girlfriend, or I put that shit behind me. I stopped going on 4chan, like whatever. It isn't about him. Specifically, it is about disproving the dumb shit he says, yes, but also showing the very specific kind of brain rot that infects predominantly young white men like him. Crooked 2814, moving away from 4chan was a great choice. See, that's what I'm talking about. And it is so disingenuous to call me like biased and a liar or whatever, and then not actually talk about the things that I use the video to talk about. Like, why don't you talk about the weird BlackRock conspiracies and the sub Alex Jones conspiracies he's always fucking shilling? Like, honestly, I could give a fuck about Fuda or video game reviews or any of that bullshit. Again, that's icing, right? That is just showing how he's a hypocrite. How he'll say all this shit but not actually live it. Like, whatever. That's setting up the character. But the important shit, the stuff I disprove, the stuff I spent time debunking using, facts and research and things that people like him hate and aren't able to do. That's the stuff that is emblematic not just of him, but of a much wider umbrella of ridiculously online dorks, which is why I made the video, which, again, I explained at the beginning, if any of them watched it, which they did not, so. Yeah.
Views his girlfriend and is a pedo. Yes, I want him deleted because he's actively harming people and using his influence to harm others. Dead domain, you could just, ignore Synthetic Man. It's not like YouTube is gonna agree with Synthetic Man. It's not like most people will agree with him. You are free to dress as a femboy all you want. Trans people and gays have the same rights as I do, and unless we have some right-wing...
Now we literally don't, we literally don't get self-determination thanks to right-wingers, but again, I was doing, here's the thing I don't think people really understand about the research pieces I do. Brianna Wu is being an exception because I'm doing that for free. That's a personal interest project. But the pieces on Matt Walsh, on Synthetic Man, on PragerU, a lot of them I will run by my patrons. I will poll my patrons on because I think I can say something again about a wider subject through that lens. With Matt Walsh, it was how this specific brand of conservatism is just so deeply saddening and curious. With Synthetic Man, it was how his viewpoint specifically represented a wide swath of just terminally online young men. Brianna Wu, again, that one's for me. That's pro bono. That's personal. But when I talk about doing these big research projects, it's decided well in advance, like a month or two in advance, because I need all that time to do the actual research, which involves me going down these deep-ass rabbit holes. That's what I do. That's why I have patrons who pay me. That's why people are in my comments saying, I do good journalism or whatever the fuck. When I did that, there's a reason why, for example, there's a reason why I have not talked about or covered synth outside of stuff like this, tangentially related, since I put the fucking piece out. There's a reason why I don't care to go back to the Kiwi Farms thread or to his comments or anything, because I don't care. I did my piece. I did it. The reason why it's almost 3 hours is because I did it as thoroughly as I could. I've talked about it before, but when I do a video on something, I want it to be the last word from me on that thing. I don't want to do a follow-up unless it's, a news story and it's evolving over time. But I don't need to do that. Synthetic Man says some racist shit. It's yeah, okay. Go watch my video. He does that all the time. I don't need to cover it more. I said what I said. So this weird, again, I understand that these kind of people clearly do not understand how to, structure an argument, let alone just do, proper research, cite their sources. They don't understand the hard work that actually goes into doing a deep dive. And they certainly, just lack the fortitude on it where, she wasn't even able to put up with the cringe of my video or whatever. But... so they don't really know nothing about what I'm talking about. So I guess it shouldn't be surprising, but at the same time, y'all don't know nothing about this. Unless you're starting to, you're calling me a liar and biased. Okay, sorry.
Fingers uprising, you're fine. The fact you made a video about synth shows that you feel threatened when you really shouldn't at all. The reason I'm making this video is
Okay, so you feel threatened then. Like if that's the logic we're going by, then you feel threatened by me? I guess? Like what are we doing? Like what are we doing here? Again, the fact that I made, when did I make that? That was like 6 or 7 months ago now. Was that August or July? I think it was July. Somebody look for me. I don't want to go dig through it on my channel.
sick of Satan worshippers getting promoted on the platform. When people like Carl Sama gets deleted because he said something a bit edgy once. Listen, I come from the land of video games where the sun doesn't shine and the flowers do not grow. Everyone who doesn't follow left-wing politics always has the looming threat of their livelihood being taken away from them. Every video game that comes out is a 50-50 shot of either being decent or just left-wing garbage. There hasn't been a game that will become a classic in 20 years. Unless...
There hasn't been a game that will become a classic. Okay, now I'm that like activated me like a fucking sleeper agent. There has not been a classic video game since 2005 is what you're saying. Since I'm gonna some of the games that have come out since then. I'm just gonna list off the dome, top of the head. Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5, Diablo 3, BioShock, Modern Warfare 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, unimpeachable classics to me. Halo 3, ODST, The Witcher 3, Mortal Kombat 9 and 10, Street Fighter 4. Just off the dome. Like, you could fucking go on. But again, that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Among Us, yeah. I saw somebody say Dark Souls, and I thought my mind... Oh, yeah, Dark Souls. Fucking Dark Souls, dude. Like, all the Souls games. Not, like, my favorite games in the world, but if you're sitting here telling me that, like, no classics have come out in the last 20 years, and you're not talking about Dark Souls or fucking Bloodborne, what are we doing here? That's fucking... like... Dead Space 2. Fucking the Resident Evil remakes. The more I think about it, what a mind-boggling fucking thing to say. Super Mario Odyssey. Well, Super Mario Galaxy. I'll go Galaxy. I'll do Galaxy. That's... just wild. Just wild shit, y'all. All right, let's keep it going.
You're a normie that hasn't, that there hasn't been a list of like 50 games that have come out in the past 4 years that will live up to games such as Silent Hill 2, Resident Evil 4, or hell, even Asura's Wrath. It's depressing and it deserves...
Asura's Wrath is not 20 years old. You can't... Okay, you can't... I didn't just hallucinate that, right? Like, she said 20 years. I feel like moving from 20 years to 4 years is a little bit of a switcheroo. But then also, yeah, there fucking has been. Like, let me turn you on to game about a little thing called Baldur's Gate 3, son. Fuck off.
We talked about people outside of video games don't care about quality. We're living in a time where everyone is concerned with finding the big bucks and how much crap they can put down their throats as much as they possibly can. Gamers aren't woke. You gamers are skitskos and you...
Okay, this is what I was afraid of. Now I do feel bad. I feel like I'm actually punching down. This is... like, just... like, I know she knows she's rambling. because she had to edit all this together and find all these cutaways and shit. But this is just like regurgitating the same like cynical drivel I've heard dozens of times.
You guys are meanie heads that want to ruin everything for modern gamers. Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Do modern progressives have a short memory span or something? Do they not remember what came out like a month ago? You guys remember that thing he said where people don't care about wokeness, they just want to play good games? And then he brings up Valorant or some shit like that means anything. Yes, you can turn a profit with woke games.
I believe I actually brought up far fucking more than Valorant. I don't remember where it was in the video, but I brought up like all of this shit that Synth would call woke from games like Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty and all this other stuff that doesn't stop them from selling. It was Valorant and Marvel Rivals hadn't come out yet, so it wasn't that, but that's a great example. Overwatch. The fuck else? There was another one, another big one. I don't remember what it was. Doesn't matter.
Every now and then, if you flip the coin well enough and you make it subtle enough and the game appeals to casuals, yes, you can make a profit, but time and time again we have seen that woke-minded games flop. We had like 5 games that flopped this year because of the woke stuff.
Because of the woke stuff. It wasn't because they were like boring and or bad games in the case of like Suicide Squad. It was because Suicide Squad had like a trans flag in the corner of a room. Wasn't because it was like a boring 30-hour grind fest that had nothing in common with a cemented game design legacy from the Arkham series. Like, that wasn't it. It wasn't because it was shoved to the fucking gills with games as a service bullshit that was tired almost a decade ago. Like, I feel like people were fucking done with games as a service around 2017. And then Suicide Squad comes in and it's this weird fucking co-op looter shooter thing where the loot kind of sucks and the shooting isn't great, and also it's open world but it has none of the flair or flavor of the Arkham games. But yeah, it was the trans flag that sunk that game for sure. I can definitely tell you know what you're fucking talking about.
Like, do people just think that we live in a perfect world where nothing is woke, nothing bad happens? No, gaming is better than it's ever been. We had like hundreds of flops these past few years, but no, gaming is better than ever. Anna, stop being so mean. Stop being so negative. Just enjoy things. Why do you have to be so negative? Why don't you think that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a good game? Black hole sun, why don't you come and suck away these people? Gaming is dead. It's dead. These people think that these games are good. It's over. Gaming is never coming back unless we have an uprising.
This is... this is like the secondhand embarrassment I'm getting that somebody, like, it's one thing to just like ramble in front of a camera or ramble over game footage. But again, she purposefully edited and left in all of this. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. All right, I want to try and get through the rest of this.
Anyway, back to unfunny, man. You're joking. I can't believe my eyes. You're joking me. You gotta be.
You
Dead
gotta
Domain
fucking
Angel Dust in the same room.
Hey, it's my Angel Dust sticker. Let's go. I have an Angel Dust standee too. You know how many compliments I get on this Angel Dust sticker, by the way? So fucking many. So many.
So he also watches Hazbin Hotel, of course. How could I have guessed? Hazbin Hotel is unironically the gayest show ever made. Probably even more gayer than Kingdom Hearts. Every single character in Hazbin Hotel is either gay or trans or bisexual. And this also goes for Hell of a Boss. I also like to say that VisiPop has someone on her storyboard team that draws and fetishizes. She also constantly makes relationships in these shows bad, like abusive and predatory. I'm glad that Dead Domain is supporting an artist that disregards rape victims and watches...
Dog, that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Having a Angel Dust sticker is enough for her to say, I support rapists. The fucking leap in logic is amazing. She should fucking try out for the Olympic jumping team with that shit. That's fucking wild. Irish DC, thank you for 100 biddies. In fairness, GTA Vice City came out in 2002 and Simpsons hit and run in 2003. Games have never surpassed them. JK kinda. I mean, look, there's always like something to be said. I just finished. I was talking about it on Blue Sky. How I just beat Max Payne 2 because I don't know. I was feeling I just wanted to play a third person shooter, so I was playing Max Payne 3. And then I remembered that, like, oh yeah, I never finished Max Payne 2. I bought it years and years and years and years ago. And I specifically got to the part with Mona in the construction site, which is like pretty deep through the game. That's probably like 70-80% through the game. And then I just, I don't know what happened. It's not super hard. I went back to it. And so I got it. It's available digitally on Xbox. I got it. And I was just kind of played that through last week when I was sick, along with Dynasty Warriors Origins, which is pretty damn good, actually. Dynasty Warriors Origins, pretty good. Yeah, no, like, tell me you don't understand Angel Dust without telling me you don't. That was just to say, like, yeah, go back. There's some great games to go back and play. However, I am really looking forward to the Max Payne 2 remake because I think that is a story that feels like it was rushed. Like, I think there's so many interesting threads to Max Payne 2, especially the kind of introspection about the meta nature of like revenge narratives and how we fetishize like violent media and how that affects people. And like, there's a lot of like, you see the directions that they would later take. A lot of their deeper thematic work in stuff like Control and Alan Wake, and especially Alan Wake 2 in Max Payne 2. But it doesn't feel as fleshed out as I would like it to be, if that makes sense. And I think being able to remake 1 and 2 as a cohesive whole, especially, really, could be amazing. Could be amazing if they keep that same, like, the core of the gameplay there, because the gameplay is still great. Like, you know, it doesn't have a cover system or anything. I think the gameplay in 3 is great. I think the problem with Max Payne 3 is that it's a really good shooter, some of the environment design notwithstanding. I think it's a really good shooter with interesting ideas. I think it's a terrible Max Payne game because it does not have like any of the weird introspective, like, nightmare dream sequences. It's like oddly too grounded. And I understand they're going for a separate thing there. The health soundtrack, fucking phenomenal. Come on. So good. But yeah. Anyway, let's go back to me apparently defending rapists. Jesus Christ.
It's a show that glorifies unhealthy, abusive relationships. A domain.
By the way, if for those who haven't seen Hazbin Hotel, the episode where Angel Dust is physically assaulted and abused is not glorifying it at all. The song Poison is about an abusive relationship and Angel Dust wanting to die. Like, it is a introspective moment for otherwise a character that everybody writes off as being very unserious and just a kind of annoying loudmouth. Like, it is... You can say a lot of shit about Hazbin, and I have, and I will, and I don't have a whole lot of problems criticizing it. But I think Angel Dust Story is one of the only truly great things about that show. But yeah, like, according to her logic, that means if you listen to Kanye West, you agree with all the tweets. Yeah, like say whatever you want about what I fucking said about, like, synth. I don't believe I ever was like, oh, well, if you're watching this art, then you obviously support everything about it.
You got something you want to tell us? God, this video he made about Synthetic Man is so fucking boring. Like, the whole time he's at this microphone, no background footage of anything.
Hey, whoa,
this
why?
He made about
You gotta. Oh. I see you, Anna Waifu. I see you posting too much.
relationships. A domain. You got something you want to?
What's wrong with my Femboy Hooters outfit? What's wrong with you? Had to do some digging for these. You had to. I might have posted these on Twitter. I think I posted these on Twitter. Wow, my face has changed a little bit, hasn't it? Damn, that's crazy. And no, okay, hang on. I don't think they're free on Patreon. Queen Lover Has-Been Hotel is the Citizen Kane of animated TV shows. I cannot follow you down that road. That is not a place we can go together. That's a wild thing to say. Oh, that's fucking nuts. All right, hang on.
God, this video he made about Synthetic Man is so fucking boring. Like, the whole time.
Actually, pretty attractive when he isn't trying to be a femboy. Okay, so again, I think her opinion of me has changed as she made the video, because she started out by saying I was a woman, which I have not, and I don't. And then has now switched to saying I'm trying to be a femboy because I did a Femboy Hooters cosplay. So, like, kind of pick your... I feel like she flip-flop lanes without ever catching on to the fact that I just have, like, a broad gender expression, which I do. Like, I'm not wearing makeup right now. I'm wearing a tank top. Like,
time he's at this microphone, no background footage of anything, barely any jokes, nothing. Like, I'm not saying I'm the most entertaining bloke here, but god, man, like, I struggled watching this video he made, and I'm not gonna respond to the video. That will be for next time because it's so long. It's like 2 hours long.
Next time! There's a next time! Oh! There's a next time? Okay, so you made a video responding to the video, but didn't watch the video and are not responding to the video. That's fucking crazy. And then you're saying, I don't think I did a lot of jokes in the synth video. I kind of try not to do too many jokes in the deep dives just because I try and keep them very informative. But, like, go watch one of my fucking movie reviews. Like, I got plenty of jokes. You might not like them, but I got jokes.
So unnecessary. Like, this video, Domain is acting like he's the one in the high chair, even though he's promoting men wearing dresses, people chopping up their body parts, and blatantly lies in this video about the woman thing. Like, dude, do you think Synthetic Man is gonna have this uproar? You think he's gonna be like Charles Manson? Man, Synthetic Man is such a threat to us, even though we have the same rights as everyone else. We get the most representation out of anybody, but no, some guy...
That's fucking crazy. Also, no, what I said was I called out Synth on a thing he had said on a drunk stream about how he wouldn't ever want to go on a date with a woman because he's afraid of what he might do. Those are, again, his words. Those are the things that he's said of his own volition, freely. He said that he wouldn't want to go on a date with a woman because he's afraid of what he might do. And the thing I said in the video was that there's really only two ways to interpret that. He is afraid that he will either physically assault a woman or sexually assault a woman. Like, that's really the only way you can possibly interpret that. But sure, again, completely don't actually pay attention to what I was saying or getting at there. Don't, and certainly, whatever you do, Anna, whatever you do, for the love of God, for the love of lamb chop, do not actually show what I'm saying that you're supposedly responding to. Oh God, I hope she does like a 3-hour video. That'd be so funny.
On the internet that thinks that Fuda is hot is a threat, because people know Synthetic Man is right about this stuff for the most part. Like, what are you complaining about? If anything, using a cosmic argument that even Nazis hate this guy because he's into Fuda, so they see him as hypocritical. You didn't say earlier, oh, people see him as a loser. You made this video over 2 hours long, and this video is 2 hours of bullshit. This
I do talk about that. I extensively talk about how the people on Kiwi Farms, the people egging him on, even his own community, largely see him as a bitchless loser. They see him as a lol cow to poke fun at. Like, I talk about all of these things. I can't decide if I don't think she must have like read a summary of the video or something. Where did you buy your kafaya? I've been looking to buy one for the longest time. I don't remember the name. But it was a website that was, I have 2 kafayas. I have this one and then a much cheaper one. That I'm sure was made in like a factory or something. But this one's actually pretty okay quality. It's kind of warm. But I don't remember the name. It was a website that did say all profits go to Palestinian aid. So try looking kafaya Palestine aid up.
mofo acts so high and mighty, and that Synthetic Man is the worst person ever when you yourself want to deplatform people for disagreeing with you.
Just simple disagreements. You know, again, not going to say what those disagreements are. Oh, what's that? I'm getting... Oh, it's the Nazi shit. It's spreading disproven, which I disprove in the video, wildly racist and anti-scientific conspiracy theories to a group of young, impressionable men. Like, yeah, I kind of do. Like, I think we should have a better informational security with the dipshits out here just spreading lies and then advocating violence on top of those lies. But again, let's not actually talk about what I said. And for the love of God, Anna, whatever you do, don't show the evidence I actually showed to justify my points. That would be doing literally any effort, when instead you could just be showing Connect Star Wars, I guess. Sure, why not? I do love this, like, oh, dead domain, so it just reminds me of that one Borat clip. I have a chair, king of the castle. I fucking love that. That's funny.
You pretend to be something you're not and encourage people to just wear a dress instead of getting professional help, maybe getting mental help to get them to understand why they feel the way they do, when a big percentage of trans people occur because of trauma or mental issues. You're worse.
Again, honey, citation needed. I also don't think I've ever, outside of like encouraging people to, like, you know, just be who you are and represent how you want, I don't think I've ever like encouraged mass amounts of people to wear dresses. That's
domain.
crazy.
You're worse. You celebrate Satan. Your mascot of your channel is Baphomet. You just criticize Synthetic Man for accusing Legend of Zelda for having satanic imagery, and you yourself is a Satanist. You have no room to criticize anybody when you yourself is just as bad. Like, there are actual, real things you could critique Synthetic Man for, but you choose to focus on stuff that most people would disregard anyway.
What are the things that people you think would disregard? Again, I don't think she actually watched the video. I don't think she did. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, also, it's going to be wild for her to know, like, oh, you need to get mental help. You're not going to fucking believe what the widely accepted prescriptions for, what the fuck? Gender dysphoria is. All right, I'm going to let somebody in real quick. No, we're almost done with this video. I got like 4 minutes left in it.
It's not like he's a pedo. It's not like he's a
We'll be fine.
This isn't mini lad we're talking
20
about.
minutes of
People
trailer
act as if
for
Synthetic
Brandon
Man is
later.
gonna be the next Hitler or something, when an actual fascist don't like him. And how are you going to pretend that
The actual fascists don't like him. Is that why, again, as I showed in the video, he receives copious amounts of donations from people with like 1488 in their username, and people talking about how they want to gas the Jews and all that stuff? Like, is that why the actual fascists and Nazis don't like him? Because he just shills their exact talking points? Also, I'm so curious what this is going to be. I will not have time for that video today. I got to finish this and then jet. I have no idea. She's on a tear, but I kind of
everything
love
he
it.
said over the 4 years he's been on YouTube is that you can't say he doesn't at least have one good point or two? How can you be this dense?
He doesn't.
The worst thing this guy, like, the worst thing Synthetic Man has done from my memory was, like, getting his viewers to dislike, bomb, and harass a kid. But to be fair, you go on the internet, you get critiqued, bitch. Like, I hate this notion that just because someone is a kid, you can't critique them or something, or you gotta be easy on them, because you're a meanie head if you critique them. So what are you
Okay, so let me get this straight. You don't want me, you specifically say, hey, just take the criticism and move on. Again, it's this uwu, like, small bean bullshit, where if I were to do that, that's targeted harassment. But if Synth does it, it's okay with a child? Which I didn't even know about this. That's fucking... I'm not surprised you're a fan of Synth. Like, you only exist by double standards. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy.
So what? You go on the internet and you make content, you're going to get criticized. You don't want to get critiqued, don't go on the internet. I don't even agree with everything Synth does or...
How can you make a video and say that and then be like, well, obviously Dead Domain is biased and like, you're disproving your own fucking point. That is crazy. You love it. You love it. You love to see it, folks. Yeah, they don't know why they're upset at me.
But he's my goat anyway because he's funnier, and that's the fucking appeal. It's a crazy schizo, it says funny shit, and he's kind of cute. But Anna, he manipulates his audience. Does this guy look like he manipulates anybody? Like, imagine if some, like...
I just dribbled water all down the front of me. That was almost a real fucking spit take. We gotta finish. We gotta keep going. We gotta...
Supposedly right-winger comes
Gotta
up
power
to you
through.
and he says
Power
he doesn't
through,
like
chat.
shrooms or gay stuff, but then he says, I like women with dicks. Like, bro, I ain't gonna take you seriously. Like, imagine if a Christian comes up to you and he's like, I go to church every Sunday, I have a Bible full of highlights, and I can turn water into wine, but then 5 seconds later he's like, I'm a Satanist. It's like you can't have it both ways. You can't say you're on one side and then try to have your...
Do you... Anna, hang on. This is... I gotta fucking... Do you think Christians can turn water into wine? Again, I can't linger on it. I gotta move forward. Postmortem, thank you for $1.99. Personally, I'm only trans because Jordan told me to be. I am so sorry about that. I picked the worst time to indoctrinate everybody into the trans cult.
your cake and eat it too. Like, Synthetic Man says he's anti-woke, and he doesn't like Tron stuff and gay art, but then in the next breath he says, I'm into Foodicon. Like, you can't do that! You can't have it both ways! He may think he can have it both ways, but you can't have it both ways.
So now you're
I'm not
agreeing
really
with
shitting
my
on him.
criticism
You know,
during the video.
before I have all the fans defend his honor, I still watch him because he's entertaining, and he shits on woke games and stuff. Like, this is the only point I can agree with Domain on, is the Fuda point. Congratulations!
So you watched 5 minutes of the video then? You basically watched just the intro. This is great. Oh, okay, we're almost there. The end is in sight, chat.
You have 1 point I agree with. 1 point in this pile of garbage video. Great, Domain. I will have to give this video a 1 out of 10 instead of a 0. And I don't want to hear in the comments,
cringe.
Anna, you're just transphobic, and you're just a Synthetic Man shill because he does this in all of his videos.
I'm not even a synthetic shill to fuck. Meanwhile, you're talking about how he's cute. Okay. Okay. Again, we're almost finished.
Like, just
we're
by
almost
seeing
finished, chat.
his thumbnails, you can tell what his beliefs are. I also like
What? That's fucking crazy. You can tell what my beliefs are by the thumbnails I have? Whoa. Yeah, it's almost like I just admit what I believe and talk about it openly. I don't have to hide it and couch it like a fucking coward. Weird.
to mention he uses Hassan Piker for his arguments at times. Like, you've already lost me.
I do not use Hassan for arguments. I used one brief clip of Hassan reacting to something Synth said specifically as an example of other times streamers have reacted to him, because I didn't want to fucking trek through the 30-hour God of War thing that Every Frame of Pause did. I did not care that much. I needed a quick clip. Hassan had a highlight. I grabbed it. Like, that's, again, this is how I know. This is how I know. She looked at the first 5 minutes of a video. This is how I can tell.
Dude, when you use Hassan Piker for your arguments. Do these people hear themselves? Do these people reread the scripts they make? You can't do that. You can't do that. I don't know what to say anymore. I will respond to his video at some point. I mean, that'll have to be in 2 parts because it's too fucking long, and I already feel like
we're getting a
my
part 2
lifespan
and a 3.
has been shortened by like
A part
17
2 and a
years
3,
with his
chat.
video. Hearing and seeing his post where he just shits on people, and of course the famous video where he just admits he wants to ruin gaming for everybody else. You know, maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was just joking. Maybe he wasn't for real. No, I ain't gonna give him the doubt. I ain't gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
I love how you're having an argument with yourself on the like, how are you again, just how are you talking about other people not reading their scripts, and this is what you're saying. This is what you're bringing to the table. You're arguing with it's fine. It's fine. It's all normal. Everything's good. We're good.
Whatever. Whatever. I'm done. If you enjoyed this rant that went nowhere, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Chat, I want to thank you for joining me on this nightmarish journey. God damn, there's a lot of people streaming right now. We could watch Go Raid Connor Eats Pants, Sea Dog VA. All right, I want to do somebody who doesn't have a lot of views. Ophelia Valentine or Mui, who is, I do not remember Mui. Yeah, that was fucking rough. But I gotta get going. Yeah, apparently it's letting me raid today. So let's go send some love to a English VTuber, very small. And thank you all very much. Hope all y'all have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Thank you for sitting through this cringe nightmare with me. I am very excited for parts 2 and 3. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. It's good. I doubt it'll ever materialize. Like, there's no way. But there's such a way. There's no way. She might. Oh, I can't wait. Anyway, gonna go raid Mui. Everybody go say hi. I forget why I followed this person, so I hope they're cool. I hope they're good. If not, I did not raid them. I deny.